you are with Alka Priya और हम देख रहे हैं सीरीज ऑफ सक्सेस स्टोरी ऑफ इंडियन अचीवर्स और आज हमारे साथ है मिस्टर उदय धर्माधिकारी जो कि चेयरमैन और मैनेजिंग पार्टनर है एडवाइजर कमेटी के और इनकी कंपनी का नाम है इंडस स्ट्रैटेजी फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर।
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Yes.
Welcome,
yes,
sir.
Alka.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you, Alka. Thank you very much for being there in this particular, in the external environment at this time. Thank you once again. Yes, please go ahead.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for coming. Sir, सबसे पहले आप अपना इंट्रोडक्शन खुद बताइए, अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए.
Alka, my name is Uday Dharmadhikari. I'm presently, I'm a chairman of advisory committee of Indus Strategy Financial Advisor and a managing partner of Rebuild. I have a very interesting career. I have a professional career spanning over of about 40 years now, And in this 40 years, I have worked with the various multinationals, Indian corporate house as a president, country head, CEO in India and abroad, And in the 2018, I decided to come out of it and thought that let me have my own venture. And that is how I started my own venture. But during entire 40 years of my career, I had a very, very interesting, very successful career. And I really have enjoyed working with all my colleagues, all my partners, all my associates and everyone, So this has really been a great journey of over last 4 decades of my career. Yes.
Wow, that's सर शुरुआत कैसे की आपने, आपके दिमाग में कैसे आया कि मुझे कुछ अपना करना चाहिए?
See, let me tell you one thing. Whenever I was almost about out of 40 years of my career, at 20 years, I have been an CEO or the managing director of a large company. But I always believed one thing, that unless you have an entrepreneurial mindset, it is very difficult for you to run a successful business. So whenever I used to run a company of 1,000 crore or 2,000 crores or 5,000 crore, I always used to have an entrepreneurial mindset, Because without an entrepreneurial mindset, you could never run a company and you could never build a successful and a sustainable business. So for that reason only, this is what is come. Then when I could do it for others and when I can bring it for others, why I cannot do it for myself? So that is what I have done, and that is what I have started this venture about 2 years back. And let me tell you, touchwood, when I started this particular venture, I thought that how the people will take it. When you come out with a large corporate houses, when you come out with everything, you are in a different frame of mind, But when you start your own, you really have to be very different. But fortunately, I always had that kind of a mindset, and I started looking at that only. So this is how I started my new venture. Yes.
And sir, what are the challenges you faced? बहुत सारी problems आई होंगी, कैसे face किया आपने उनको?
Yeah. Challenges ऐसे होते हैं कि when you are working somewhere और जब आप कहीं काम कर रहे हैं, you know very well that somebody is taking care of you. When you come out of any established organization, that too at a very high post, and when you start your own venture, you start looking at it. You only look at it with the people, those you come to know really, that who are your well-wishers and who are the people who will really support you. So in such cases, what has happened, I faced a lot of challenges. Those who used to come to my office and sit for hours together, I had to go to their office and sit for hours together. I think that's the biggest challenge which I face, the biggest hurdle I face. But I could realize at this point of time that who are my good friends, who are really my well-wishers, who can really help me and who can really make me the business good. And that is the biggest challenge I face. And I can tell you, the people by and large have been very, very helpful, very, very supporting, and I could really do something which I wanted to do at the end of the day. Yeah.
Right. So, what are your future plans, sir?
My future plan is simple thing. I would like certainly to work for a society. I have decided once I have come out of it, I have decided that whatever I earn from this, at least 40 to 50% of that, I would really be giving it to the underprivileged of the society. I would like to grow this business. I was the first man in this country in 2008 when I developed an affordable housing in Bombay, in a suburbs of Bombay. Can you believe? An 8.9 lakhs house was given to the people. So I always believe that that is the kind of the thing which I want to do, and I want to go forward and do that kind of a thing, which you find that everybody in this country, have a good, clean environment, place to live, because it is not only a privilege of the higher class of the society, but everybody has a privilege to live in a green and clean environment, and that is what is I would like to do. I would like to grow and see that what best I can do for the society.
Okay, that's really great. Nice to hear you. A role of Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign in your organization business part.
I think it's a very, and this terminology of Atmanirbhar Bharat has come today, but in my dictionary, Atmanirbhar Bharat has been there for a long time. The reason I can tell you, I always believed in local product. I've operated pan India and also international business. I always used to ensure that we use a local material, we use a local product, we use the local craftsmen, and we do all the local things, so that not only it encourages the entrepreneur of this country, but also promote a lot of localized material across the globe. And that is what is I would like to, and now since this has come in formally, I would certainly like to more and more encourage, more and more do, and make the people self-sufficient, particularly in the rural India, so that we can really look at it. Maybe a couple of years down the line, maybe next 10 years down the line, we see that most of the product available either on any of the online or anywhere else, or probably locally, will be made in India and not from anywhere else.
We are talking about the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign.
Yes.
What's your take?
So as I said that Atmanirbhar Bharat, as I told you that Atmanirbhar Bharat is for me, it's there from long time. I have been advocating a use of local material, local craftsmen, local this one. It's not in it because I believe that is all we are going to make India proud. That is what is we are going to do that. So it is going to be there wherever possible. It will be only local across the country. If I am operating in the state of Madhya Pradesh, I will ensure that local material, local craftsmen. If I am operating from Maharashtra, I will see that it is there. If I am operating in the Delhi or in a NCR sector, I will ensure that the local product or local craftsmen are used for that. So I believe formally it is good that it has been announced. It is very important that we need to promote ourselves so that we really become self-sufficient. We really become Atmanirbhar. We do not have to depend on us. Let us take an advantage of 130 crores population. We have got so much talent. Unfortunately, the talent is hidden. Once we start promoting these kind of a local thing, you will find that there will be a lot of things which is going to happen, and we will be full of the innovative and creative things in the market. So for me, it is one of the best thing which has happened in the Atmanirbhar Bharat.
That's great, sir. What do you have to say on winning Indian Achievers Award?
Oh, it's great.
Excited?
Let me tell you one thing what has happened in the past. In my career of almost about 4 decades, I have won many awards, national, international, in India, across the globe. I have won many awards. But there are 2 reasons which has come to what which is very special and very important to me. One is it has come on my 60th of birthday.
Oh,
Correct?
That's great.
So that's very important. The second is very important. Normally, one get recognized for his one achievement, for his professional achievement or one particular achievement. I am really glad and I am really very sentimental about it. And I would like to say with very, very kind of and firm this, that this gives me a lot of sort of an honor and privilege to take this award or accept this, because it gives me not only for my professional achievement, but also gives me for a social contribution. And two things which is very rare which comes, and that is the reason. So as I said, these two things which are really make me very special as far as this award is concerned.
You are special, actually. And
Yeah.
tell
Well,
us about your
thank you,
social
Alka. Thank you very
contribution.
much.
Yes, you are
Pardon?
special.
Yeah,
Tell us
thank
about
you.
your social contribution.
Yes. As I mentioned, that social contribution is a lot which has been over a period of time. But let me give you a couple of things, which is done. In the
Sure.
last, apart from, many years which I have been doing the like a social contribution, I have been doing it to the various underprivileged systems. In the last 2 years, almost I have done more than 3,500 students, directly or indirectly benefited in their e-learning system, in the school infrastructure. I went to the villages and I ensured that they have changed the infrastructure. There is a kind of they started learning through a computers. There wasn't completely the infrastructure was developed for them. I went to some of the school and I really sometimes very pity that in the last so many years of our independence, we are really not looked into some of our education and the education infrastructure sector,
Right.
particularly in the rural area. Now I'm really glad that I have done. I really feel so proud when I go and I have tears in my eyes when I look at those small kids, small this one, now they are able to have a playground, they are able to have a proper shelter for them, they are able to have an, completely and sort of an e-learning system for them. So this is really a proud moment for me when I look at it, and more than 3,500 to 4,000 children I have been able to serve for that. So this is really a good. And second one, which I would like to say that during this, period of a pandemic, I have been able to really serve through my contacts, through my this, to these underprivileged people who were really deprived of the various things, whether it is food or whether it is basic infrastructure. So I have seen that I have been able to support them. Alka, as I mentioned to you, saying that now I have decided, or I have been doing for past 2 or 3 years, that whatever I earn, if 50% of that I start donating or giving it to the underprivileged of society. And that's probably, I feel it's probably one of my contribution, whatever it comes from this, that is a contribution to that. The third one, which also I do, I go to a lot of universities, lot of colleges, lot of, and I teach the student, I give them whatever knowledge available with me, little bit, whatever I earn or tell them what they really need, how do they go about it. So you look at it, whether it is serving an underprivileged society, whether it is a children or whether it is a youth, I am trying to do whatever best I can do within the given sort of which is available with me. So that is what is, I feel, my contribution as far as the social contribution to the society.
That's really great. God bless you, sir. And last question.
Yes, please.
Message to the new generation who wish to be an entrepreneur like you.
Yes. When I mentioned to you that I go to these universities, I had earlier also passion. Many times when I was serving, I used to go to some of the MBA college and sit at the back bench and understand how the today's youth they feel.
Really?
So taking those, yeah, many times they used to feel, oh, such an old man sitting in the class, but I used to learn from that. And now I am parting to that. And I keep on telling the young youth, becoming entrepreneur is not easy. Merely having a qualification is possible. You can acquire a qualification, but you need to acquire many other skills. You need to innovate. You need to have a problem solving. Correct? You need to have an integrity. You need to have a leadership qualities. So I keep on telling the youth, in addition to your, change your attitude towards it. Just by saying that I have a so much degree, I am also qualified. I am a professional doctorate in management. But today I believe that just qualification doesn't matter. You need to have an leadership. You need to have an integrity. You need to have a problem solving. So you need to have all these qualities. You need to have loyal. This is the qualities which are going to really matter, going forward. So I keep on telling them that you must look at that kind of a thing. Alka, I have a very fundamental belief that the knowledge is information and attitude is power. You can get knowledge on Google. You type anything on the Google and you will get a knowledge. But if you do not have an attitude to apply that knowledge, you will never be able to apply that. So I always believe that you must have you should have a knowledge is can consider as only a knowledge as an information, but you must have an attitude to apply that. So that is what is I keep on telling the young entrepreneur, it's not an easy journey. It might take you time, but unless you start looking at the other qualities, you forget about your successful entrepreneurship.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, and all the
Thank
best.
you.
God bless you.
Thank you, Alka. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
All
sir.
the best to you and the entire
Thank you,
team of
sir.
IIF. Thank you very much once again for recognizing me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.